First impressions for the Speedster obviously are the looks. Walk in, have a look at it. Looks like a great motorcycle. I think Dan posted something about that in the earlier review. It does look pretty classy with the chrome and the black. I pulled a straight shot and then I pulled a cappuccino on it. I'm a right-handed guy, but I'm used to holding the portafilter in my right hand and pushing the buttons on my machine on my left. So I found it a little bit awkward when I first used it because all the levers are on the right side. So I have to kind of hold the portafilter with my right hand and reach over with my left hand. I love the pre-infusion, being able to lock in the lever and pre-infuse for a few seconds before starting it and then locking it in for a full pull and then letting go. I steam with cappuccino, milk on the cappuccino. The steam wand took a couple of turns for me to get open, so I'm used to kind of one crank with my left hand, basically steam the milk and one crank to close it again. I found I had to open it up a couple of times, so that was a little bit different for me. Love the working space. It was wide open, easy to get a cappuccino cup in, nice and stainless drip tray, easy to clean. Overall, great impression.
Now, you've used the GS3, I think, before. How would you compare and contrast them?
I thought more working space on the Speedster than the GS3. I find sometimes the GS3 is a little cramped. GS3 steam knob, as I recall, is easier to use for me.
Right. It's actually got a toggle on it.
It's got a toggle on it, I think. Yeah,
right.
so it's kind of easier to turn on and turn off. Both coffees taste great.
Okay, thanks, Ian.
All right.
So here we have Walt, who just finished trying out the Speedster. What's your first impressions?
The Speedster, we pulled a couple espresso shots and then did a cappuccino. I like the design, the way the Speedster worked with the espressos. I think it has more flexibility with the pre-infusion. It gives the user more control, allows you some options when you're doing espresso. I think I had the same impressions Ian had on the cappuccino. The left-handed steam wand was a little uncomfortable. I went to touch the steam wand even with the rubber grip and it was still hot to the touch. So I think that is something I'd have to get used to and play with a little bit more.
Well, the GS3 has a no-burn steam wand.
Yeah.
The Speedster does not. And you're right, that wand it does get hot pretty quickly. You've used the GS3 before. How do you compare and contrast them?
I think they're two different machines. They both have good qualities. I could easily live with either one of them. I don't know that I have a good feel for, I probably wouldn't say one was better than the other. They're just different in the design and how you use them.
Okay, well thanks, I appreciate your impression.
All right.
So Lem just finished with the Speedster. What are your first impressions?
First impressions, feels good, looks great. The steaming was a little, it's going to take a little getting used to the steam one. It kind of moves a little too much.
It's not a ball joint, so it just moves around.
Yeah, a little too much give. If we could tighten that up, that'd be great. Aside from that, I think it felt really good. I haven't been on the GS3 in a while, so it'll be interesting to jump back on the GS3 and see if things equal out.
Yeah, you use the Linea as well on catering gigs, right?
Yeah.
So how's that compared to the Linea Mini, which not many people have that experience?
I personally prefer the Linea Mini because it just feels like the commercial La Marzocco machines.
Right.
It's like taking that commercial size and making it compact and giving all that power. I was actually surprised with the power of the Speedster, and I had to kind of back off a little bit, so I wouldn't blow my milk out with too much bubbles. But I really like that, and I think that's very compatible to commercial machines. Their steaming ability and the Linea Mini. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for your impressions.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Jesse, you been using the Speedster for a little bit. What's your impressions?
Yeah, I think that I think it's a very well-made machine. I think that the attention to detail on it is really good. As far as the ergonomics and actually using the machine, I think it's a little awkward at times with the steam wand being on the side that it is, and the knob it could just be because it's newer, the knob was a little stiff. But as far as pulling the shots, I really do like the pre-infusion lever, like being able to control your pre-infusion time. I think that's a really handy and easy feature that they've added there. It looks cool. I don't know that I personally prefer the look to the GS3, but again, like clearly a very well-made machine, and the details are really nice. I think obviously with the Speedster, I think you're looking at people who may be car enthusiasts or something along that vein, and so that's not really my thing. But two, I'm a sucker for hardwoods and things like that. Having grown up, around handmade furniture, so on this particular GS3, the walnut details on the side panels and the group head and the steam wand switch, like I really like all of those things. I think the GS3 feels a little more comfortable to me just because I'm used to working on La Marzocco machines, and so of the two, I think I would probably prefer the GS3 over the Speedster, but both are great. They make delicious coffee, and I wouldn't blush at either one. If I was given either one, I'd be really happy.
Okay, thanks, Jess.
Yep.